Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am here to review Love After Lockup Season 3. This is episode 37, Freak in the Sheets. I'm way behind on these uploads. We just finished up 4th of July weekend. I hope you all had a great 4th of July. I was at my sister's house all weekend from Saturday to Monday, so I obviously can't record there, and I'm trying to catch up. So let's just jump into this episode. Let's kind of get the quick segments out of the way. Let's start with Stan and Lisa. So Stan's at home playing with the wigs. His friend Dash comes over and, you know, he's showing Dash the wigs, and Dash is like, it looks like you're having a little too much fun with these wigs, but okay. You know, Lisa calls, he puts her on speakerphone. She says she just finished reading her Bible, you know, doing her Bible study. Stan asks, like, what's going on with your brother? Is there any updates? Did he get out? And she says, oh no, he's still in jail. And you're kind of, I think you're right. He just needs to sit there, figure it out. He either needs to, like, you know, look up to the Lord and get his life on track like I have, or, you know, he's just going to look down, I don't know, to hell and just keep going down that path to hell, because she's got it figured out. Like, let's not forget, this is her 7th stint in the joint, and she doesn't want to go back. She wants to get on the straight and narrow, and I suppose she sees Stan as somebody to help her with that. I don't know. She's getting out in a couple days, and, you know, there's a quandary. What last name do I use when I get out? And Dash is sitting there listening like, what? Huh? What's going on? And Stan's like, well, babe, you know, I think we should just go with your maiden name. And she agrees. That's probably a good idea because she doesn't have any felonies under that name. And Stan just doesn't even blink an eye. He's just, yeah, okay, you know. So she's got to go. She'll talk to him later. She'll see him in a few days. He's actually going to pick her up in a couple days. They hang up, and Dash is just like, what's going on? What about these last names? And Stan fills them in that, like, oh, she's been married a couple times and she's not sure if she was legally divorced from her first husband before she married her second husband, you know, but we're just gonna go to the lawyer, get this all figured out, no biggie. And Dash is just looking at his friend like, you old fool. Like, are you, like, you know, Dash is like, are you sure? Has it crossed your mind that she might be scamming you? Like, how do you know she's not still with one of these husbands and they're not kind of like in cahoots to come and like steal your money? Like, you have a beautiful house, you have money, but, you know, Stan's like, oh no, that's not what's going on. And, you know, anyways, you know, no risk, no reward. I don't know how you don't know if you're divorced or not. She knows. I think she probably did not divorce her first husband, but just jumped into another marriage because she's a scammer like that. She's what my father would call a skim scammer. And she's gonna just fall back on the dumb, I don't know, I don't remember card, because I don't know how you don't know that you're not divorced. Did you sign the papers? Did you file? Did you go to court? Like, or is your memory so bad you really can't remember? I mean, I guess it could be the drugs does kill brain cells. I'm being way harsh. I know, I'll stop. So anyway, you know, Dash is just worried for his friend, you know, off to the side. He's telling the camera, like, you know, he's being naive. Like, I'm worried about him. I'm worried that he's going to be taken advantage of because he's acting like an old fool, like an old man fool. Anyway, a couple days goes by, and I guess Stan is headed to the prison to pick up Lisa. He got the wigs seat belted in the back seat. Like, he couldn't, because she got to throw one on as soon as she comes, like, running out the door. Like, he couldn't, like, leave them at home. No, he's got all 3 in the back seat, securely seat belted. He gets there, you know, at the time she's supposed to be released, which I think was, like, 8 o'clock. It's now 8:30. He's, like, outside, like, you know, he's, like, freezing. Like, well, sit your ass in the car and calm down. Like, relax. Like, did you think she was going to come out, like, 8 o'clock on the dot? And he's just, like, getting nervous. It's 8:30 now. Is that her? Is that her? Oh, no, that's actually a man. Because, you know, Lisa said she looks like a boy. That's kind of where we end the episode. I guess we're going to meet Lisa next week, and we'll see the reunion. So, Stan, I think you're getting played a little bit, and I think you're being a little naive, and that's putting it nicely. Courtney and Josh, we find them where we left them last week, in bed. It's the next morning. They're, you know, just canoodling, basking in the afterglow, just the 2 of them, and, like, there are 5 dogs in bed with them, which is, I don't really like that, but if you like it, you like it. All right, so they're laying in bed. You know, they both agree that the night was wonderful. They had chemistry. It was just natural. They just fell into each other. You know, it's great to be married, husband and wife, finally sharing a bed. Yeah, it's good. It's kind of how it should be. And, you know, Courtney asks Josh if he's hungry, and he says yes. So she says, okay, well, let's go make dinner. I mean, were they in bed all day? I don't even know. So they go to the kitchen. She's making dinner. She makes him some mac and cheese. I love mac and cheese. I don't love mac and cheese from a box, but I guess, you know, I'm particular that way. And then she makes him like some like sort of like steak, like doused in gravy, and no veggie, no salad. I know I'm being really like nitpicky here, but it's like where I looked at that plate, like there is a food group missing. We need some roughage, some greenage, something. It's just like, no, a plate full of carb and protein, but he loves it. He bites into it and it's just like, oh my God, like this is the best thing I've ever eaten in my life. Well, yeah, anything's better than prison food and ramen noodles every day from the commissary. So they're sitting there, and at first the conversation is really kind of, to me, like, for a minute I was like, wow, they have nothing to talk about. Because at first, Josh is like, oh, you know, I just want to thank you, like, for being with me, for marrying me, for letting me be your husband. And she replies like, oh no, like, I love you. Thank you for being here with me. And he says, oh, well, no, you can count on me. Like, I'll always be here. I'll never leave you. And I'm like, is this the conversation all night? Because I can't take it. Like, I can't. But it does go a little deeper. Because then he goes into, you know, I just want to thank you for just, you know, building this empire for us, you know, and I know how hard it's been on you, you know, the things that you've had to give up, your job, you know, being in jail for 60 days and everybody telling you shouldn't do it, but you did it. You did it. And look where we are now. Like, and it was worth it. You did the right thing. And I'm just like, it wouldn't make me feel good. And I don't know that it totally made Courtney feel good, because she's very emotional and she's crying, you know, thinking about what she's lost, you know, because she says in her confessional that, you know, she really loved her job. You know, she was good at it. She moved up the ranks fast and she took pride in it. And it was devastating to lose it. Although, you know, she doesn't regret it, because she really does feel that Josh is like her soulmate. You know, they connect on a lot of things, namely, you know, feeling loneliness and issues of abandonment. And so she doesn't regret it. But yeah, she gave up a lot. Like, I mean, did it have to come to that? Like, did she have to? I mean, yes, I know she had to. She broke the rules. She got caught. It had to come to that. But if they really saw each other from afar and felt this connection, like, could they have like maneuvered in a way where she didn't lose her job and have to like go to jail and now be on probation? And is it difficult now to find other jobs? I don't know. Like, couldn't he have just like, can you wait? Like, can you wait till he's out? I guess not. Maybe there was no way around it. But, you know, she also realizes that, you know, at least from where they are in this moment, yeah, she's built this empire. She's given up her job. She gave up her freedom. She's on probation. Like, she's sacrificed everything, and he has sacrificed a zero, as Judge Judy would say. And so, yeah, it kind of is his turn to step up. And he seems like he's definitely on that page, because he asks her, like, you know, do you have goals for us, like, as a couple? Like, where do you see us, you know, in the future? Because, you know, he definitely is going to, like, you know, start hitting that pavement, looking for a job, probably in the landscaping arena, because that's where he has experience. That's what he's good at. And, you know, he's going to step up to the plate for her and show her that, you know, she made the right decision, and that he really loves her and he's there for her. Because, you know, what's really important to her is not necessarily a career. That's not where her identity lies. It lies in being part of a couple, part of a marriage, being loved, cherished, respected. Like, I know that's all nice, and that's what we all want. We all want to find that person that loves us and cherishes us and, you know, soulmates. But do you have to ask your soulmate to give up everything? I mean, I don't know. It's just, I guess maybe that's why I'm still single, because there's certain things I'm not willing to sacrifice, and my freedom and my career that I've worked really hard for just ain't one of them. But that's where we leave them. I guess maybe we'll see him look for a job, get a job, start contributing to the empire. Rachel and Doug. So it's Doug's day to get out. Rachel packs up the ice chest with the bologna and the non-alcoholic booze, and she goes and she gets like a hotel near the prison where they can like quickly head to when he gets out. But she calls him, like, you know, I guess like a few hours before he's getting out to let him know, hey, I'm on my way. Also, I talked to your parole officer, and basically you're on lockdown. You've got an ankle bracelet and you have curfew. Monday through Friday, you know, you can be out and about from 8 to 5. You got to be home by 5, and you can't be out at all on the weekend. I suppose that's probably like a work schedule is why it's like that. And he's already just like, oh, hell no. Like, no, we got to find me another PO, another parole officer. Like, that is not going to work. And I mean, I don't think getting another parole officer is going to change anything. This is just the pushback he's already given. I mean, she's told us he's not one to follow rules. It's not his forte. But she, you know, she's a little concerned because he hasn't really been an adult in the free world. You know, he's been incarcerated off and on like his whole life. Well, not his whole life, but since he was like 17. And so I guess she, you know, she feels that, you know, but this time it's going to be different for him because he has her, and he's going to be living in a new city. It's going to be like a fresh start. He's got Dougie Jr. Like, he's got so much more, like, going for him, so much more to lose, that this time, you know, she's not really concerned that he's not going to take it seriously and break the law again. And besides, like, he'll listen to her. You think? Okay. So she gets to the prison. She's dressed up like she's going to the office, very conservative, which is what he asked her to do. He gets out. They're running into each other's arms, both of them. You know, they're really excited to see each other. We get a confessional from him where he shares, you know, he grew up within like a poor family. There were a lot of kids, not a lot of money to go around, and so he just kind of went out and started like you know, robbing homes and stuff just to have extra cash. And, you know, since he was 17, he's been locked up. And the longest stretch that he's been out, like Rachel shared last week, is 40 days. But he's kind of in the same mindset as Rachel. Like, he's got more to sort of live for and work for. So he's going to really make a valiant effort to, you know, do the right thing this time and stay out of prison. She takes him to like the back of the car where the ice chest is with the booze, non-alcoholic, and the bologna. Like, she brought the bologna, and he rips it open with his teeth, like the plastic. She hands him a credit card, and he cuts into it, you guys. Like, slices into it with a credit card, and I was just like, no. I mentioned in one of my videos, I don't remember which one, I don't like hot dogs. I can't eat them. I had a bad experience, and hot dogs are a cousin to bologna. I can't eat bologna. Like, and then he just started eating it like raw and then feeding it to her, and I was just like, no. Like, with that bologna breath, I wanted to gag. Like, I gagged a little bit in my mouth. Like, it was so, like, not even a slice of bread. No, he was just, So she's like, well, we got to get going. Like, we got to get to the hotel, you know, 'cause she's ready. She's ready for her man, and they have a curfew, 5 o'clock. So they got to get back to their house after the hotel by 5 o'clock. Like, why not just drive straight home? Like, can they really not wait? They can't wait like a couple hours. Like, no, they can't wait. They can't wait. And he can't wait either. So he's like, oh, I'll drive. And she's like, absolutely not. You're not going to drive. Like, already he wants to break the rules. I mean, I don't know. It's hard, you know. I want the best for people. I hope he stays out of prison. I hope he can like rehabilitate himself in the world, you know, but I think it's really hard when being incarcerated is all you kind of know. It's almost like this sort of comfort zone, as crazy as that sounds. Like, you know how to live and operate within that prison. The outside world is very different, and I hope the best for them, but I don't know. But like I said in my first review, like, it would behoove them to go and get some family therapy ASAP if they really want this to work. And they say they do, but I don't know. It could just be the hormones that are like driving this relationship. I don't know. We'll see. That's it for them for now. Let's move on. Deontay and Nicole. This couple, I don't even know where to start because there's so much, but there really isn't a lot actually, because it's very clear what's going on here and what's happening. So he's picked her up from prison, and they're driving, I don't know where exactly at this point, but they're driving, and she's got that stack of cash securely tucked into her brassiere. You know, Deontay tells her, hey, look in the back seat. I have some more surprises for you. She pulls out this huge Victoria's Secret bag. It has like pink sweatshirt hoodies, and you know, she pulls out this sort of complicated like lingerie, and it's just like, oh, what is this? Like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do with this? And he's like, girl, you know exactly what you're supposed to do with it. And she's like, oh, well, okay, I mean, I can model this for you and you can look, but you can't touch. And he's like, girl, what are you talking about? And I'm just looking at her like, yeah, Nicole, what are you talking about? And she tells Deontay, like, I told you, like, I have really bad anxiety. I just got out of prison after 4 years. Like, I just can't have anybody touching me. And I really want to take this relationship slow. Okay, so that's the card we're going to pull. Now, I know it's probably a very unpopular opinion that I'm about to state here, but I can't be the only one that thinks this. Oh, let me first just say, she could be suffering from anxiety. I imagine people who get out of prison, especially after a long stay, can come out with some mental health issues, anxiety being one of them, absolutely. However, I just don't totally buy this coming from her. Like, weren't you the one who just told him on the phone that you want the slow grind and now you don't even want to be touched? I mean, it just seems like a very convenient shield to use to not have to get intimately close with Deontay. I mean, even though you've accepted all these gifts, even though you know what he wants, I mean, let's be adults here and keep this real. Like, okay, let me also give a disclaimer. He can shower her with money, gifts, a mansion, a Ferrari. It doesn't mean she owes him anything. She doesn't, especially sexually. He's not entitled to it. Just because he gives her something doesn't mean she owes him anything. She doesn't. However, I feel like there are expectations here, and she's kind of led him on, you know, like, so much so she tells him, like, as a matter of fact, like, I want you to take me to my mom's. I'm going to stay the night there. And he's like, really? And he's disappointed because he had envisioned this night going differently, and it's not going that way at all. I mean, he's been faithful to this torso, and he wants to be with Nicole, and it's not going that way, but he loves her. He wants to marry her. And so, you know, what's one more night of waiting? But I mean, if she really is suffering from this anxiety, it's going to be a lot more than one night, Deontay. And I mean, has she been giving him mixed messages? Like, on the one hand, I want the slow grind. On the other hand, I can't stand you touching me. Like, it's all very confusing. And on the other hand, you know, she's kind of being a user, a total user. She's using him. With a couple like Stan and Lisa, I can kind of respect, because they both know, as ridiculous as their coupling is, there's an understanding between them. He gets this hot, spicy, sexy lady. She gets taken care of financially. That's sort of the unspoken agreement, okay? With Deontay and Nicole, like, I mean, maybe it's not so, maybe I'm wrong, but, you know, he's giving her money and gifts, and I don't know that he's expecting sex right away, but he's expecting a relationship. He's expecting her to be his girlfriend, to live with him, to be with him, and she's barely doing the bare minimum, I must say. Like, they get to the mom's house. He doesn't even get to meet the mom. Says like, oh, can I walk you up and meet your mom? And she's like, no, I think it's best if I'm just gonna go alone, but I'll call you tomorrow. And I'm like, wow, like, that's it. Like, that's it. She just gives him a kiss, a pet goodbye, and that's, like, she's not even, like, she's not doing the most at all. She's doing, like I said, the bare minimum to keep stringing him along. But then I can't really be mad at him, because, I mean, he's been warned. Like, mama has warned him. Brother has warned him. Best friend Keith has warned him. Like, you might be being used, but he doesn't care. Like, he's gonna shake the rice and roll the dice and cross his fingers and hope that she's a good girl and she's sincere in all the things that she's been telling him, which we don't really know. We don't know what their conversations are. Maybe he's hearing something different. If she really is suffering from anxiety and telling him that, and he's not hearing it, he's hearing that she wants a slow grind. Like, I'm confused. It doesn't really add up to me. I mean, what I'm seeing is just, you know, him being a total sucker and her being a total user. I mean, not quite a match made in heaven, but here we are nonetheless. She goes inside. It's reunited with her mom. It's very sweet, you know. She says that her mom moved from Indiana, I believe, to Virginia to be closer to the prison that Nicole was at. And she just wants to, you know, build a better relationship with her mom, because she admits, like, she put her mom through the ringer when she was younger. You know, she was rebellious, she was wilding out. And, you know, I think prison can, you'll grow up pretty fast and realize, like, family's important. And your parents typically, usually just want the best for you. And so that's very sweet. But, you know, Nicole's laying in bed later that night, texting on the phone that Deontay bought her, texting somebody else, we don't know who, like, hey, I just got out of prison. I want to see you. When can we hang out? What's going on this weekend? And I'm just like, here we go. Can't say I'm surprised, you know. And she says, you know, she just got out of prison. She's not married. She's free and she wants to have fun. And absolutely, I don't blame her. But then why are you stringing Deontay along? Because you're a user and you want money and gifts and you don't really want to be with him. And I feel bad. And I do. I mean, as much as I think he's been warned, ultimately my heart feels bad for him because he just, I mean, it's so clear to everybody. I don't know. I just don't like it. I mean, and like I said, she doesn't owe him anything, even though he's done this for her, but she shouldn't be taking these things, especially like, you know, it is what it is. This is the kind of girl she is. This is the kind of girl she is, and she's putting it out on TV for everybody to see, and now you have this reputation as a user, and I don't know, do you care? She probably doesn't care. So why do I care? Why am I invested? I'm really not, though. But that's it. I guess maybe we'll find out next week who this mystery text person buddy is on the other line. It doesn't look good for Deontay, though. Can't say you weren't warned, though. Britney and Ray. It's Britney, bitch. I'm just kidding. Okay, so it's the morning of Ray's release. And it's like early in the morning, like 4 o'clock or something. A.M. And Britney is packing like a duffel bag of like fresh clothes, t-shirts. She bought him an iPhone. She's already set the passwords, the passcodes for the iPhone so she can check his social media because, you know, she says she can be a little insecure. And I'm just like, it's not good. That's not good. But she rented a car and she's headed over to Ray's parents' house because they want to be there to pick him up as well. So they're all going to drive over together. She says that Ray kind of told her that he like comes from like a not so good area, broken down home, like, you know, I kind of guess is the reason why he's gotten into the trouble he has because he didn't come from a lot, doesn't have a lot, was kind of hustling, I guess. But when she pulls up to this house, it's like in a very nice neighborhood. The facade of the home is beautiful. It's looking real like Huxtable-ish, like what? And she's looking around like this is weird. Like this is not at all what he described to me. But okay, you know. She walks up to the door and if I haven't mentioned it, she hasn't met his family yet, and she's a little nervous, you know, especially when they find out that she is on the fast track to marriage and children. She's 33, I think Ray is 29, and they've only been dating for 9 months. But you know, the mom opens the door. I'm assuming these are both his biological parents still together, you know, like a family unit intact. They welcome her in. She's wearing this t-shirt that says like, welcome home, you're free, or something like that, which is a sweet gesture. But she's also made one for like everybody in the family, like mom, dad, whoever's coming along. And I'm like, although that is a sweet gesture, if I was like sister or auntie, I'd be like, yeah, I put a lot of thought into my ensemble and this is gonna clash, so I'll just hold on to this for another day. But the family is game. They're like, oh, it's so sweet, like we're gonna go put these on, we'll be right back. And then out of like, you know, some doorway comes Granny, like, hi, like I'm grandma. And Brittany's like, oh, nice to meet you, Ray's told me a lot about you. And she's like, yeah, like did he tell you that we're like extremely close? And she's like, oh yeah, you know. Brittany's kind of taking it in, she's trying to make a good impression, but she's confused. Like this home is not at all what he described, and she feels like he might be hiding something, and I think he is, because this is like, if he outright told her like I come from a bad neighborhood, like, well, wonder what a good neighborhood is in your opinion if this is bad. Like so they come all out with their t-shirts, they're ready to go, you know. The dad like volunteers himself, like, well, I'll drive. And she's, you know, Brittany's like, okay, you know. It's just kind of like a little off-putting, and it would have been for me as well. Like, this is like the car I rented, the insurance is under my name. But, you know, the mom tells me like, oh, like he can't be in a car when somebody else is driving. So Brittany, again, trying to make a good impression, goes with the flow. But she is a little bummed that it's not just her picking him up. She really wanted it to just be them. They could go, you know, she'd pick him up, they could go have lunch, stop at a hotel room, drive some more, stop at another hotel room. But, you know, when the dad found out the son is getting out on this day, he was like, oh, no, I'm daddy. I'll be there to pick up my son. So, you know, what could she do but kind of just go along with it, make the best of it? And it also makes me wonder, on a side note, why he can't be released to his parents' custody and live in that house. Like, there seems to be plenty of room. Why does he have to stay with her? I mean, I know nobody wants to live with their parents, but I mean, he could be released to them. Let's kind of take this slow, kind of like what her family was saying, but what do I know? You know, they are driving to the prison. You know, I guess this is like a chance for the family to kind of get to know Britney a little bit. You know, the grandmother's asking her, like, so how long have you known Ray for? And Britney's like, 9 months. And the mom's like, oh, you know, like, you guys been like emailing each other? And Britney's like, yeah, we email, we talk. And so the grandma's like, so you haven't really met him. Like, you don't know him. Like, you know of each other. And what can Britney say? They'll be like, okay, you know, and, you know, to the confessional producer camera, grandma's like, yeah, I don't get it. Like, you know, for being such a beautiful girl, having her shit together, having a lot to offer. Like, number one, why is she single? And number two, why is she looking for somebody in prison? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what you're saying, grandma. I know what you mean. Like, why is she still single? Like, you know, because maybe she hasn't found the right one. I can relate to that. Why she's looking for somebody in prison? Yeah. Why? I don't know. I mean, my hypothesis could be perhaps Britney just wants like control of a relationship, and maybe you feel that you have that more when somebody comes out because they have curfews, they're under these rules. I got you this phone, so I should be able to have the passwords and looking at whatever I want, and, you know, I'm doing all this for you. So kind of like you feel like you have more say over their life. Does that make sense? Is that possibly why it is? I mean, I don't, but on the other hand, like, if you're with somebody and you have to have their passcodes, and like, where's the trust? And who wants to like be ordering somebody around? I don't know. Because, you know, she also says, you know, they arrive at the bus stop, because if I didn't mention it, he's being dropped off from the prison at a bus stop, and she expects him to come hug her first. And if he doesn't, she's going to be really like hurt and like offended. Why? Why would, like, you're standing next to his beloved grandmother, who you know he's extremely close to, his mother who gave birth to him, and his dad that he obviously has a good enough relationship with that the dad like insists on being there, like, to see his son get out. Like, this is obviously a supportive, loving family. We don't quite know where Ray got off track, you know, who knows? But why wouldn't he embrace them first? He's known them his whole life. They've been there for him his whole life. Who are you, Britney? But the girl he's been, I don't know, emailing and having phone calls with for just 9 months. Like, the delusion. Like, is she serious? Is she being for real? Or is this just like, you know, saying something so we the viewers can look at her like she's crazy? Because she sounds crazy. Like, if she really expects that. I wouldn't expect that. Again, the expectations. Can we all be on the same page about expectations? Hers are ridiculous. Anyway, they get to the bus stop, the prison van pulls up, Ray gets out, but she's like, oh, he's not looking at me. He's not acknowledging me. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, yeah, we don't know what's going on, because then they put him back into the van and then drive off, and they're just like, oh no, what's going on? Where's he going? Like, what? Like, who knows? I don't know, but we'll find out next week, I guess. That's it. You guys, let me know what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. Thank you for joining me. Let me know what you think about this episode. Is Britney delusional and a little bit like off with her expectations of what she wants from Ray? And do you understand what I'm saying about Nicole, like, kind of being a little bit of a user? Do we really believe that she herself is suffering from anxiety? She could be, but it's just not, I'm not seeing it totally when you're like texting somebody else, and I don't know. Maybe I'm being too harsh. You guys let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Bye.